Good evening, everybody. It is BB Crown. Welcome back to my crazy channel. If it's your first time here, if it's the whatever time it is here that your first time you come to my channel, welcome back. What's up? Almost done. You know it's me. I don't edit my videos. I don't care how they come out. I have 26 subscribers, thousands of views, but you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's all about what's up, how you feel, and what we're going to talk about. I have been wanting to film this video for a long time. I filmed it, I erased it. I filmed it, I erased it. And then I put up my hair right now and I was like, I get a little call. A little text, a text. And yesterday I had this conversation about anxiety, depression, stress, everything that affects our mental health, right? Our mental state of mind. Now, if you've never heard what depression is, what anxiety is, what all that freaking shit is that makes us crazy that we don't know what it is. You know, like when you feel like you're going to have a heart attack and your heart is racing and you get this shakes, you get the sweat. Oh no, that's hypoglycemia, right? Kind of feels like a heart attack. If you've never had an anxiety attack, you don't know what I'm talking about. Never been there. Congratulations. Welcome to my channel though. I suffer from anxiety, depression. Man. So I made a video on my Instagram channel, and hey, I match like totally tonight, like I'm all in like this mood. This color scheme is like going on everywhere. Don't know why, don't ask me. So way back when, everybody has a story, right? My story begins a little bit like this because this is going to be a short one because I just want to talk about it, get it out in the open, and let you guys know that Pac-Man just hit me up. It's something that happened to you guys. It's something that, let's talk about me. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Me! Hello. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm a crazy son of a bitch. I used to be. I'm gonna have to label it if kids can see this video or not, and I'm not sure if well, actually, a lot of children are affected by it, and then their parents don't even talk about it. Right now, I'm fasting. I don't know why. I do not need to diet, but I'm fasting for a reason. And it's so good. That's where it all started. That's why I'm eating. I was really heavy. Really heavy. When I was married, I was all right, but I was like, then got married, and then I had a baby, my first son, and then I had a daughter. Son and daughter. But yeah, and I'm not going to add anything because I don't care that I mess up. I don't care. It's just live. If I could go live, I would live stream. I would love to be live. I want to be something in the future to change somebody's life. So if this in any way, these 15 minutes helps you, stand by. There's more to come. This is one in like 100 million videos because I could talk about this stuff all day. So when I got married, I was heavier. Today I weigh 139 pounds. I used to weigh 256 pounds. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And my ex-husband, he'd never said anything about it. The problem started happening when I started losing weight. So I had my kids, you know, I had the second one, I had a little girl. So I had the pair. I had a boy and I had a girl. We both worked so much because in this society, in this life that we live in, if both of the partners don't work, you're not going to make it. And if you're going to make it, it's going to be really, really hard. So we both worked and we were never home. So I said, you know what? If I can't raise my kids, I don't want nobody else to raise them. And that's it. I'm closing the factory. I just had two. Lucky number two. I had a boy and a girl and I was done with him. And I told my ex-husband, I don't want any more kids from you or from any other MFer that comes into my life. Nobody. Now, I was at that time maybe 22, I want to say. And my sister was like, are you sure you want to do that? The day of my surgery that I was getting fixed, not going to have no more kids, she goes to the hospital and she says, I'm with the IV, mind you. And she's like, are you sure you want to go through with this? And I'm like, IV's tied up to, yeah, hello. It was the biggest mistake I ever did. I regret it. It wasn't the biggest mistake. I do regret it because later in life, now I'm 46, and later in life I learned that I probably wanted to have maybe with somebody else. Maybe, not that I remarried. I've never remarried. I've been engaged once. Okay, maybe twice. But the big one, once. The other one, nah. Anyway, so that happened. and the verbal abuse, the whole abuse in itself while I was married, from day one, from when we were dating, and I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that these are some of the things that happened that led to my psychotic moment, right? My parents didn't help much either, but I mean, it happens in different areas of our life. I'm just trying to tell you, when you get sick like that, something impacted you, something hit you hard, and then you just didn't know. And think about it. I got married when I was 17, okay? I got pregnant at 17, got married at 17, and I wasn't going to get married then. I wasn't going to get married then. All that mumbo jumbo. And I remember thinking, he doesn't want to marry me. My dad was like, hey, he doesn't want to marry you. I'm not going to make another girl. He had made another sister of mine married by force. Like, you're pregnant, we're Mexicans, you're getting married ahorita. My sister was very young. I mean, I'm not going to say her age because, I mean, she might charge me for content on my videos now. But what I'm saying is that, you know, when that happened, that all came through, you know, we got married and blah, 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 and yada, yada. 15 years into the marriage, I lasted because, remember, I'm Mexican. The Mexican way is, even if it's not a white picket fence, you make it what it is. I used to go to work. My boss one day invited us to the first, like, later, you know, to one of her kids' birthday parties. So I took my, you know, ex-husband with me. And it was so funny. Monday at work, she was like, who was that at my party? I'm like, my ex, him? She's like, no, you. And I'm like, oh, me? I'm like, why? And she was like, night and day, night and day. I was 3 people in one body. I was somebody at work. I was somebody at home. And then in between that, I was a mom too. So like, think about it, a daughter, a mom. I was, you know, with my parents. So all that hit. The verbal abuse, the physical abuse with him led to a lot of crap. At work, they would tell me, you know, also let's cut off your wings because, you know, at work you can be yourself, but when you go home, you can't be yourself. And it was so hard. And that stuff messes with you. To be 2 people at one time is hard because think about it. At work, I was me. I was myself. At home, he's the man of the house. I had to follow the rules because Mexicans, hello. Well, if you're a real Mexican, because there's all walks of Mexican styles, okay? There's the American ones. I'm totally 100% Mexican, and I worked or whatever. And anyways, but like, yeah, couldn't wear makeup at sometimes, you know. The first part of the marriage, I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. Perfume? Pfft, cállate, olvídate, kill me. Makeup? Mm-mm. And I was a boss. I've always been a boss. I've been lucky enough that I've always been a boss at work because I was told a lot of times, you might be a boss at work, but when you get home, you're not the boss here. I'm like, okay, but I make more money than you. And don't think that because you make more money than me. So everything you have to understand. I was going through a lot of stuff. So I started going to a psychologist, you know, when I was at work. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to try a psychologist because it was really affecting me really bad, especially when my boss was like, noticed it. I was kind of embarrassed. And my boss really helped me a lot. And so at that point in my life, so think about it. I was like, you know, I turned 21 at work when I still work. So we're talking about many years, 20-something years ago. And so anyways, I started going to psychologists, and then, you know, she's like, well, why can't you wear this? And why can't you wear that? I'm like, well, I'm not allowed. And she's like, what do you mean you're not allowed? I'm like, I'm not allowed to wear that kind of clothes. You know, I have to walk a certain walk, talk the talk. God forbid I would even like, you know, a little bit. He'd be like, get your fucking ass in the house, change that shirt right now. And we would be ready to go just to his parents' house. Like, seriously, like, really? Come on, man. Okay, so that happened. And then, you know, the psychologist would tell me, you know, that was a psychologist, okay? Because I don't go to a psychologist. I go to a therapist. I'm still in counseling. I'm with a therapist now. I've been with her. I love her to death. And I've been with her going on 2.5 years. And it was the best decision I have ever made for myself because I needed it. I didn't know how long I was going to be in therapy. Let's just say 2.5 years later, I'm still going. But if I knew then what I know now, that therapy was going to help me, I would have stayed with a therapist, not a psychologist. I'm not crazy. But just when you think that you have to follow rules and you're old enough to know and you work, It's like, really? Somebody's going to tell you what to do? You're not a kid. I would tell my ex-husband, the psychologist thinks that we should go together, to marriage counseling. For what? So that he could tell me what I already know? For what? I'm like, right. I used to have plates thrown at my feet, food made. This girl made tortillas, flour, corn, homemade. Oh, yeah. I was up, fresh food every day, even if I worked. Didn't matter. It's something I love to do anyways, but it was something that, that's what I was raised. I was raised, take care of my man. And so, was he a cheater? Of course he was a cheater. First day he came home with hickeys. I had to have my son. And I was still like a little bit Americanized at the time. I remember we baptized my kid. I was going to say our. He's my son, not yours. He's my son. And I remember being at the christening, Hispanics, Catholic side, whatever, where you baptize them, you have a huge party for the baby, right? Party for the damn adults. Anyway, so I remember he started dancing with somebody else. Big mistake, because at the time, remember, I was still young. I was 18. And so I'm like, oh yeah, check this out. I grabbed this cute guy and I'm like, let's go dance. And he's like, let's go. He liked me, so I was like, let's go dance. Oh man, biggest mistake I ever made. There was like about 200 people there. A lot of people there because my parents are my son's godparents. And all I felt was somebody grabbed me by the hair and took me out of the dance floor. All his family was there. And he was pissed. Mind you, I had already been hit before. So anyways, I was like, you're going to do it to me? Well, then I'm going to do it back. That was at the beginning of the marriage, right? And so I remember my brothers got involved and everybody got involved. And I'm going to cut it off right here and say that was my beginning of a huge, huge battle because I thought that was okay. I thought that being hit was okay because my mom was abused all the time. So I thought that me being hit was just normal. And then I was just like, that can't be right though. Yeah. So anyways, you guys, that stuff, that verbal abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse is worse. I would take a hit a million times rather than somebody tell me I'm stupid, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I have a big nose. Oh yeah. I was called everything in the book. I remember one time he burped at the table. I'm like, you pig. Backslapped me. My kids were at the table and I was just like, yeah. Guns pointed at me. Loaded guns, people. So anyways, that's just a little story. There's a lot more to be said about where my depression, anxiety, and stress began in my life. It began when I was 17. I'm 46 years old now. And that is the beginning of a little bit of my story. And it's so long. Grab a lot of Starbucks, grab a lot of time, because when people start saying on the internet that they suffer from depression and anxiety, I question it because I'm like, that's not a joke. That's not a joke, because have you been suicidal? We'll talk about that later. But anyways, that happened in the marriage too. So thank you to my ex-husband for teaching me a valuable lesson. He did teach me one thing. Nobody will ever lay hands on me again. Not unless I'm fighting with somebody and it's mutual. But a man hit me? Please. A man verbally abused me? Please. No. Not no more. Not today anymore. It took me a lot to get out of that environment. And anyways, yeah. So please, don't use that mental health card on a day-to-day basis like it's easy to say, oh, I'm depressed. I suffer from depression. I'm this, I'm that. Do you seriously suffer from that? Do you really? Can you look me in the eyes and say, I have been through so much shit in my life that has led me to be suicidal. It has led me to leave my kids behind and think stupid things. You answer yes to all those questions, really? Really? Think about it again. Anxiety, depression affects all walks of life. All ages, like I said, it's like death. It doesn't care who you are, but if it cuts you at the right time, it'll stick with you for a while. This is BB Crown. This wasn't anything sad. It's just something that I'm going through, and it's something that I'm battling with, and it's something that I have battled with. And I'm very happy that I went through that lesson with him, because you know what? It's a long story to tell, but it's my story to tell. Hey, Starbucks, how are you? Did you guys think I didn't have coffee? Oh, yeah, I got food, everything ready to go. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't ever think you're alone. And just remember, live each day like you were dying. And always tell your loved ones that you love them, because you never know if you're going to wake up the next day. This is Baby Crown. I love you guys. And I hope you guys got a little glimpse of what's next to come. I love you. Los quiero mucho. Pórtense bien. Y suscríbanse a mi canal. Subscribe to my channel. Check it out, because it's going to get a lot better. This is a long conversation and story. I could talk about Jeffree Star all day, but when I go into the real topics about my life, oh man, think about it.